Yes. I know it pretty much shut everybody down, including us. It did shut us down. We were right in the middle of getting ready to shoot a Western at a place called Hooten Old Town here, which is a wonderful place. It's actually a whole Western town sitting here in Kentucky, just sitting there. Probably 20 buildings on each side of the street, but it's an actual Western town. And Ralph Markham built it back in the early 70s. And it's a wonderful place. So we actually got permission to go out there and shoot a movie. We shot a couple of location television shows there for our Roku channels, but we decided to go ahead and do a feature right as we're gearing up for the feature. So that kind of waylaid those plans for a bit, but that just drove us into the studio. So we went in the studio, and instead of shooting things with a crew of 6 and 5 or 6 actors, we now got down to a crew of 2 and 1 or 2 actors. We did a program called Film Noir Theater. We shot several episodes of that, which small crew, 2 actors. We did a show, we're just getting ready to do a show called Franken Stories, which is a Frankenstein sort of thing that where we explore the different Frankenstein stories. And the 2 hosts of it are really kind of cool. It's a 9-year-old boy, Georgie, plays Dr. Frankenstein, the young Dr. Frankenstein. Then you have a mad scientist, and you have the Frankenstein monster who wanders through all the time. It's a really neat concept. We've been building a Frankenstein machine. That's been fun. So we've been kept busy. But now that it's starting to loosen back up again, we're starting to gear back up. I'm already starting to get calls from people saying, hey, where are we at on the Western? Where are we at on the Western? And, it's given me a great excuse to collect Western props for the last couple of years. I've got, well, as a matter of fact, we just did a thing on Bonanza. So you can see I've got my Haas cart right here. I got a tan one there. And then I decided that no, he didn't wear a tan hat. He wore a silver hat. So
I like that.
So
That's nice.
they're extremely hard to get. The ironic part is most of the people who remember Dan Blocker's Haas Cartwright, they don't even buy those hats anymore, just about. And I started checking into getting one, and they run anywhere from $400 to $1,200. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to learn how to make a hat.
You made that?
So I actually took a Stetson and I turned it into a Haas Cartwright.
That's neat. Okay.
It's actual Stetson.
No,
it works.
Very good.
Until I made that hat because I'm actually looking for, as an independent producer, you get quite good at several things. I mean, we make some wonderful props because we really need to. One of the things we did when they're playing the poker game in Draw Western Theater is I wanted our prop money to look great. And I started buying Hollywood prop money for them to play with at the table because it's little details like that. Sergio Leone, who did the great spaghetti westerns in the 60s and 70s. The one thing that people don't realize when they're watching his movies are that you're watching details. The reason you're looking at that cowboy's eyes is because Sergio Leone wanted you to see the details in his eyes, those sparkling white teeth. If you'll notice the costumes are done right down to the buttons because he wanted those close-up details on everything. And when you watch a movie like Once Upon a Time in the West, look around, everything in the set and everything in the scene is just so exact. He was more about the small little details than he was about the scope. And then the scope just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger with each picture. So with me, it's the same thing. I want the details to look good as almost like a tribute to Sergio Leone because I love those movies. So I started looking for Hollywood money and I got Hollywood money in and I kept thinking, this Hollywood money just does not look that good. It's just not that attractive of money. So I would get $100 bills and I would get, and I've got this stuff all around me. I've got antique bills left and right, but I never could find money that I actually liked. So I went and started research. Here's a whole packet of nothing but antique money.
Oh, because I was going to say it would have been different 150 years ago.
Yeah. When I got these were the ones that were actually used in real Hollywood productions. This is the money they actually use.
Oh, wow. That looks
fives, hundreds. And but once I started looking at them, I started realizing I just don't like the way they look. They don't look real enough. So I went in and I found the real deal on these. Like I found, of course, I couldn't afford to get the real money, but I found the best copies I could get of the actual dollars. And I don't think I have any here. I think they're all on set. But I made our own money. I spent a lot of time making our own cash. So now when they play, you'll notice you'll see when the scene starts, you'll see the bills go across the table, and then you'll see the silver dollars drop in, and uh, and those I want to just be as exact as I could. See, I got the silver dollars,
Neat.
and they have lots and lots of those that they play with. I love my props. I also here play. I got gold coins they play with,
So you're
and
prop
but
master
it's things like
too. You're
yeah,
prop master too.
I am, and getting back to the editing. Here's the silver dollars.
Look at
Let's
that. That's
look at
so
the
neat.
wrong one. Those ones you're looking at. Yep. And also when I'm sitting here editing, I'll sit here and edit, and I'll just do the old, Scrooge McDuck thing. I'll do, play with the coins.
Yeah,
So
lots
I
of
look like that
that.
character from Disney, Scrooge McDuck.
Uh-huh. Does it let you
So
know
I may not be
you're
rich, but I look like I'm rich. Yes. And but that was out of necessity because trying to get good props, most Hollywood props are very, very cheaply made, very, very throwaway because they're made to be destructible. I just wanted these to look really good so we could get nice, tight close-ups of these and it would sell. And I think, as independent film producers, I think we always strive to make it look a little bit better. I always tell people, I say, you know what, we may not be high budget, but we're high concept and high quality.
good way to put it.
And that means just as much to me as high budget.